Have you ever found yourself constantly sacrificing your needs for others, feeling a sense of guilt when you don't, and yet feeling unfulfilled? Today, we're diving into the world of codependency. It's a behavioral condition that's often overlooked, yet it can significantly impact our relationships. It's that persistent feeling of being overly invested in the needs of others, often to the detriment of your own well-being. It's the uneasiness that creeps in when you can't help but worry about others. This, my friends, is codependency, a behavioral condition that can affect anyone. So what exactly is codependency? A deceptively simple question, but one that holds layers of complexity. Codependency, in the simplest of terms, is a behavioral condition in a relationship wherein an individual excessively relies on another person to meet their emotional and self-esteem needs. It's a sort of emotional symbiosis, but one that tends to be more harmful than helpful. Imagine a scenario where you find yourself constantly putting others' needs before your own, forgetting that you too have a life that needs attention and care. You feel an immense sense of guilt when you're not able to help those around you, even at the cost of your own well-being. You're constantly seeking approval, validation, and fear of rejection or being alone. These are the typical characteristics of codependency. But the conversation doesn't stop at mere characteristics. Codependency has far-reaching impacts on a person's emotional health and relationships. It's like a spider's web, intricately woven, and once you're caught, it's hard to break free. Your emotional health might take a hit, as you're constantly under stress, trying to keep up with the demands of others, neglecting your own needs. You might experience feelings of resentment, anxiety, and even depression. In the realm of relationships, whether they're romantic, familial, or platonic, codependency can create an unhealthy dynamic. You might find yourself in relationships where you're always the giver, with little to no reciprocation, or perhaps you're on the other side, and you've become overly reliant on someone else, unable to make decisions or take actions without their input or approval. In short, codependency can lead to a life filled with stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. It's a silent emotional thief, stealing away your sense of self, your independence, and your ability to form healthy, balanced relationships. But remember, understanding is the first step towards change, and with this knowledge, you're already on the path to a healthier, more balanced life. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm codependent? Well, codependency isn't as straightforward as catching a cold, but there are clear signs that can help you identify if you're caught up in this emotional and psychological tangle. One of the most prevalent signs is feeling responsible for others' feelings. If you find yourself constantly trying to manage and control how others feel, you might be dealing with codependency. Another sign is neglecting your own needs. Are you always putting others before yourself to the point where your own well-being is suffering? This could be a red flag. Lastly, if you are constantly feeling guilty for not helping others, even when it's not your responsibility, this could be another sign of codependency. It's essential to remember that these are just signs and not definitive diagnoses. But recognizing these signs is the first step towards breaking free from the chains of codependency. The good news is, codependency is not a life sentence. It's a pattern of behavior that can be changed, and it begins with self-care. Acknowledge your own needs and feelings, and make time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Self-care is not selfish, it's a necessary part of mental health and well-being. Setting boundaries is another crucial step towards overcoming codependency. This means learning to say no without feeling guilty, and understanding that it's okay to put your needs first. It's about creating a healthy balance between helping others and caring for yourself. And of course, seeking professional help is always an option. Therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate these complex emotional landscapes. Therapy can provide you with the tools and strategies to break free from codependent behaviors. But remember, overcoming codependency is not an overnight process. It requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. Remember, it's okay to prioritize yourself and your needs. You are not responsible for everyone else's happiness. So there you have it, a quick overview of codependency. We delved into understanding what it really means, recognizing its signs in our own lives, and the steps we can take to overcome it. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth, one that's worth sharing. If you know someone who'd benefit from this information, don't hesitate to pass it on. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Remember, you are not alone in this journey.